Hey guys, it's Superstar0717. Recently I started playing the Pokemon trading card game, and so here's the deck that I've made. It's not going to be super competitive per se, definitely more along the lines of just taking it to locals. You know, not up there with the city championships or regionals or states. But yeah, I have a more competitive build than this. This is just what I threw together, and I do have the rest of the cards coming in for the more competitive build, so bear with me. And there's going to be one proxy, but I'll tell you about that when it gets there. So you start with your one Cleffa, a good starter, goes to sleep, shuffles your hand back into your deck, and it's amazing. Up next I have 4 the 30 HP Tynamo. I do want to ask you guys which Tynamo you recommend running. I like the Free Retreat one a little bit right now, but then again I haven't played against any of the Kyurem decks, and obviously if that deck does get pretty big, I'm going to swap these out for the you know, the 40 HP one, because I would hate to give up multiple prizes per turn, but right now the Free Retreat one works pretty well. And if you guys have any of these in reverse holo, just let me know. Really appreciate that. Okay, so up next I'm running the 4 Eelektriks. Sorry about that. Energy acceleration from the discard is always good. You're running the Reshiflosion engine basically with the Sages and the Junipers and the Junk Arms, so this does put in a lot of work and it powers up your attackers pretty well. So excellent card. Up next we have the 3 Heart Gold Soul Silver Pikachus. Can anyone let me know if these are actually legal? I asked like 5 people and I got 3 to say that they were and 2 that didn't, and a couple of the YouTube people like Zapdos TCG said these were legal. I'm not exactly sure if they are. I know I haven't seen anyone use them in the TCG online, and on Play TCG when I was building this deck, I didn't see them available to add to my deck, so if these are not, obviously swap them out for a different one, but I like the recharge ability, you know, thin your deck for an energy, and it sets up your turn 2 Raichu Prime. So up next, obviously, Raichu Prime. I like this Raichu better than the Heart Gold Soul Silver one, because this Raichu can pretty much effectively run by himself, whereas the other Raichu you need one on the field in the active spot and one on the bench to swap them out every turn. This one you can just move energy up from your other Pokemon to him and keep attacking for 120. There are going to be some changes to the deck. This is just the initial build, and I will talk about the changes that I'd like to add later. So if you guys could just help me out with that, that'd be awesome. Okay, so up next I'm running 2 Zorua, just so I can get that foul play and copy some of the attacks in the format. It's really good to loss burn a couple energy when you catch her up with Magnezone. To KO it, you know, sniping stuff with Yon Mega is always good. Whenever they bring out their legend cards, copying those attacks is amazing. And it's just a good card in general, and it's easy to power up from the bench. You can power it up in one turn and it does a lot of work. I usually use it to clean up the game. So that's it for the Pokemon. Up next we have some trainers. I got 4 Communication. You're running a lot of stage 1, so 4 Communication is pretty crucial. And it's just good for getting out basics, obviously. Up next I'm running 3 Junk Arms. Really good just to get those energy to the discard pile, because you can just reuse them with Eelektriks and stuff like that, and it gets back a lot of trainers. Pretty useful. This is the proxy I was telling you guys about. It's 3 catchers. I had an issue with the ones that I ordered online. I ordered 4 reverse holo ones, and they sent me regular ones, so I sent them back, and I guess I just have to use these for now until I can find another good deal on the catchers. But 3 catchers. Up next, 2 Pokegear. Obviously hitting that turn 1 collector is just amazing, and so this greatly increases your odds of doing that. Okay, 2 Switch. I tried 1 Switch and I didn't like it. I just have really bad luck with things like this, and I would say every time I played with 1 Switch, I would say like 70% of the time my Switch was prized. And obviously with catcher around, if they're going to catcher up your Eelektrik, you can manually attach to it, but it'll take 2 turns, and it's just a pain in the ass. So 2 Switch. Onto the supporters, I'm running 3 Collector. Obviously one of the best cards in the game right now. Sets up my bench with you know, the Tynamos, Pikachus, stuff like that. Obviously, late game, I'll set up the Zoruas with it, and it's also a good card to burn with Junk Arm late game. Onto the discard engine, I'm running 4 Juniper. Really helps get your energy to the discard pile, and you can start reusing it. And you know, it's just an awesome card to have in your hand when you only have like 0 or 1 cards. Okay, so up next, 4 Sages. Sages are just such a good card. Once again, you know, discarding those energies from the top of your deck, drawing into the better cards of your deck, and fueling your Dynamos and fueling your Electrics. Okay, Oak's new theory. I've seen some people run N in place of Oaks, but I just think Oaks is better more often. I know a lot of people use the argument, well, when you're down in prizes, N is better. This deck isn't necessarily the deck to go down in prizes too often. I mean, you can, I guess, like, it's a good backup plan to run the N, but if you're playing a deck and, you know, that's not Ross's deck, and you're just planning your 3 of your supporters on being down in prizes by a significant number, then, you know, you're not playing the deck right. You don't have the right list if that's the case. So I like this a little bit better. In the times that I used N with a buddy of mine, he would end up telling me that I actually drew him into a better hand every time that I end him, even if it was only 2 or 3 cards that he could draw. And all this deck does operate, you know, once you have the engine going, you don't need a hand anymore. I just think Oaks is better for the early game, you know, and so that's why I'm running Oaks instead of N. I mean, I've tested it, and I just didn't like it. And then last, I'm just running 12 Lightning Energies to round out my deck list. So I guess just real quick, let me explain the combo. I know this is kind of a new deck. So basically, you're going to have a Raichu Prime on the field, a couple of Electriks set up. I like to set up 3 Electriks on the bench, and have just another Raichu Prime waiting on the bench. So Electrik's ability Dynamotor states, once during your turn before you attack, you may move a Lightning Energy card from your discard pile to one of your bench Pokemon. So you get your Lightning and you equip it to any Pokemon. Then you use Raichu's Voltage Increase as often as you like before you attack. You may move a Lightning Energy attached to one of your Pokemon to Raichu, and you just bring it up to the active, the energy, and then you hit for 120. Discard all 3 energy, and end your turn. It works out really well. It's a really fun deck to play. And it's pretty fast with that Recharge Pikachu because you can set up turn 2 Raichu to hit them for 120. And that's just amazing, especially if you flip good on the heads. If not, you have to wait a little bit unless you have a Lightning in the discard and a Dynamo set up, or an Electric evolved. So that's the deck. I do want to figure out a way to fit in some plus powers. So if anybody has any ideas of what I could cut for that, just to fit in 2 plus powers, that'd be awesome. So thanks for watching, guys. Rate, comment, subscribe. Peace. I'm going to post up the updated list whenever I do get those cards, and it'll be a little bit more competitive than this one. This one's just more of a budget, fun deck, rogue deck, I guess you could say. So yeah, thanks guys. Peace.